A majority of people in Sri Lanka are Buddhist, about 80%. Everywhere you go, you feel that faith is a part of Sri Lankan life, whether it's with the Buddhists, the Muslims, the Hindus, or the Christians. When the tsunami hit, these religious values really came out. People were helping each other, no matter what the religion was. There was a real sense of family. It made Sri Lanka's post-tsunami period very special. I was in Galle, Sri Lanka, which is located in the southern area of Sri Lanka and had been devastated by the tsunami. Almost all the houses had been washed away, and my project was to go into that community and do some interviewing of community members, survivors, and put together a documentary about personal accounts and people's stories and their feelings. And being out there and sitting in a chair where someone's living room used to be, and sitting with parts of their family, but not everyone, because some of them had unfortunately had not survived the tsunami. These people have nothing left. They have nothing left, but they're looking at me and saying, what can I bring to you? They're still offering me things, because that's just the kind of people that they are.
It was a disaster that I don't have words to explain. And it's terrible to see the people and traumatized, having lost everything in life. We didn't have any funds for relief or anything like that, but we thought we got to be doing something.
I'm speaking with Padma Ratnayake, the Executive Director of South Asian Partnership Sri Lanka, or SAP-sri for short. Padma and her associates at SAP-sri were my guides, as gradually I learned what happened to them on the fateful day of the tsunami, and then how they tried to pull together and rebuild the lives of the survivors.
I lost my 2 kids from the tsunami. We were in the house, and when the first wave came, we were separated. I was just thinking about my 2 kids, and that was all that was going through my mind. We never expected a wave like that, and it was like the end of the world to us. And the greatest shock to my wife and myself was the loss of our 2 kids. The first wave was about 20 feet high. Most of the people ran and got into the train. They never expected a second wave.
There was a train, and people started running for the train for safety. But it really sadly became a moving grave, because people were on the train and the wave hit and they had nowhere to go.
How many people were on the train when the tsunami hit it?
2,000 people. I think more than 1,600 died.
A lot of women were left without capital, without a lot of money. And the project there specifically was a microcredit project wherein women were able to receive small loans with low interest rates, whereby they were able to create, through lace-making cooperatives, beautiful handkerchiefs and lace products, and then sell that on a daily or weekly basis in the local market. Gain back the loan that they were given, return that to the bank, and then able to eventually make some profit from that. Okay, Sujiva, how long would it take you to make this?
About 4 days.
4 days? Wow. And is that 4 days straight? Like 8 hours a day? Okay. So that's quite a lot of detail, because every one of those she has to weave. It's beautiful.
Thousands and thousands of women are engaged in this industry. So we thought, since they have the skill, since they are already been doing that, we need to help these women to restart their lifestyle, their income generating activities, to gain normalcy to their lives.
When I was here 6 months ago, the lace-making project was already underway. The women knew about lace-making, but they were then beginning to learn about how to organize themselves, how to borrow money to expand, and how to relate to the export market. The project had only started March 2005, and I visited here in May 2005, so within those short 2 months, they had already done quite a bit of training.
Our development approach is to help people help themselves, and they organize themselves and they can manage their finances, they can manage their people, and they are sustainable by the time that we withdraw.
The same principles were being developed in another local industry, that of choir making.
The ropes are woven especially by the women who live along the coast. So this fiber that's taken by this...
Choir is spelled C-O-I-R. It is a coarse fiber obtained from the tissue surrounding the seed of the coconut palm tree, a native plant of Sri Lanka, which currently produces 36% of the total world choir fiber output. Choir seems to have endless uses, including twine, brushes, doormats, mattresses, and sacking. A worldwide market awaits the women now organizing to serve it under the direction of SAP-sri. Everywhere I went, the people were getting on with their lives. There were far too many temporary shelters still, but food was getting on the table. Drinkable water was available. Kids were getting schooling, and the courage of the women everywhere was incredible.
In one interview, I met Praita, and I could see from where her house used to be, I could see the water. She started by telling me where she was when the tsunami hit. She's looking at me and telling me about the day where her mother was washed away to the ocean, and one of her children was washed away to the ocean, and telling me, you know, after what she had been through, the loss that has undergone, that she wasn't going to take this sitting down. She wasn't even thinking about herself after she'd lost her family members. She was worried about the fishermen and how they were going to fish because their catamarans had been washed away to sea. She was worried about the townspeople because their bikes were gone and they couldn't get into the market to buy food for their families. She wanted to have kettles brought in because people couldn't get themselves clean water because it was very ridden with bacteria because of the bodies in the ocean. She was doing development. She was doing her own reconstruction work right there. And she said, but when you go back, you know, you'll help us, right? You'll keep helping us. I said, I promise you.